Today I'll be baking with high school volleyball coach Rick Dunetz. A man of many talents, he started the Side Out Foundation, helping raise funds for breast cancer clinical trials. Now, Rick's mom lived with breast cancer for 6 years. Sharing his mom's cancer story inspired Rick's volleyball team to win the district championship title, and it didn't end there. The team's inspiring journey now raises millions of dollars to help extend the lives of people with stage 4 breast cancer. Rick learned how to make gingerbread cookies from a childhood neighbor, and now he bakes and shares them with the hope it will lead others to share their sources of inspiration. Rick, this looks amazing. What are we doing? What are we making?
Well, we're going to make gingerbread cookies. What we're going to do is we're going to take our molasses, and you want to use the spatula and try to, you're going to dump it right in here.
But apparently this is like a key ingredient, isn't it?
Key ingredient, yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to crack these eggs. We're going to put the 3 eggs in. We're going to do all the wet stuff first.
Okay.
Butter as well. Yeah, okay. Butter makes everything taste good. Okay. Now we're going to put in our spices. Yep. Brown sugar, flour. Once we get this combined, just like that, and then we're going to take this and we're going to come over here. So we're just going to dump it out, just like that. Then you're just going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay.
For how many minutes?
I usually leave it in there for the entire, like 24 hours. So in the end, it comes out, I usually put it in a Tupperware container. Something like this.
Oh.
So then we take our cap mold. If you roll really good, we can get about 8, but 6 is good.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna slide these off like this.
They look good, Rick.
You want them to cool a little bit before you eat them.
Well, while we're waiting for it to cool off, we can go chit-chat and then enjoy the cookies.
Okay.
I can't wait to eat them. They look amazing. Rick, the cookies look amazing.
Thanks.
What motivated you to start this process? It's not just about baking gingerbread cookies. There's really a story here.
When I graduated high school, the lady that made these cookies, and she made one big batch for me on my graduation day when I was 18. And she said, this is the last batch I'm going to cook. And several years later, my wife started to bake cookies just for friends and family. So I called up my friend Loretta, who made the cookies for me originally, and I said, hey, you know, we're going to do this thing. We're going to pack up these cookies and give them out to friends and families. I was hoping that you could give me this recipe. And part of the deal of getting the recipe was that I had to make sure that not only would I give this out to friends and family every year, but that when I got done baking these cookies, that I pass this recipe on to the next generation.
And along the way, there were some difficulties, some challenges personally.
I like baking the cookies because it makes me feel good, obviously. But another thing that makes me feel good is working with young people. So I decided to become a volleyball coach. And on the same day, in fact, that I was given the coaching position, I found out that my mother had stage 4 breast cancer. So that season, I was just really struggling to try to motivate this team. At the same time, I tried to motivate my mother to get her through this difficult time.
Was your team aware of what was going on in your personal life with your mom?
No, not initially. But then things came to a halt when I was really struggling with them in one of the practices, and I wanted to stop and kind of level with them and let them know what was going on. When I said, guys, I need some help here. And I said, I'm not just trying to get you guys motivated to moving forward. I'm trying to get my mother to fight this disease. They understood what I was going through, and they also understood that there's this person that's fighting this really challenging situation. So they made that kind of their mantra for the season, that they're going to continue to fight for her and play for her as well as me. And it ended up being really great. It ended up being one of the greatest seasons I've ever coached in my life.
And the coach, Rick Dunetz.
Talk to us about your foundation, Side Out Foundation. What is it about, and how are you helping people?
So in 2005, the year after that incredible volleyball season, I thought how amazing that these kids were able to motivate and inspire my mother to fight the disease. So I thought, if I started a foundation and got these kids to do this around the country, what could we do? In the first year, we went from being a $60,000 charity to a $500,000 charity. And in the second year, we tripled that. And so at Side Out, we made a decision that we were going to not just donate money to clinical trials, we were going to actually start our own clinical trial. And it's about precision medicine for stage 4 metastatic breast cancer patients.
Rick, where do you want to see Side Out in 5-10 years from now? What would you like to be doing with this foundation?
5 to 10 years from now, I hope that the foundation doesn't exist for this reason, because we've solved the problem. We want to change the way that the disease is treated, and we want to turn it from a chronic disease and a potentially a terminal disease to something that they can live with, something that they can live with a reasonable quality of life. And if we do that, there's not going to be any need for us to be raising money for this cause anymore, because people will live long and happy lives. And after that, well, next chapter, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, indeed. Rick Dunetz, thank you so much.
Thank you.